prepared yet.
You need to try and pick off the units as...
Look at the shields on the mark. That's awesome.
Oh my god, the world's gonna take them.
Welcome back to Game 2 here for the Winners Round 1 IPL Season 2 matchup between Millennium Tarson and 6 Jacks ViBE. That's right, we got a TVZ. First game on Metalopolis was won by 6 Jacks ViBE, so Millennium decided to go with Crossfire here for game number 2. We're going to have 6 Jacks ViBE, the winner of the last matchup, spawning in the northeast as the blue Zerg, and he is going up against his Terran opponent, Millennium Tarson, spawning as the red Terran in the southwest. I'm DJ Wheat from OneMoreGame.tv. Happy to be here for IPL Season 2. Make sure to check out the website, ign.com/IPL. So easy to remember. There's absolutely no excuse that you shouldn't be going over there, checking out the VODs of maybe any matches you missed. They've got some special interviews going on as well. A great selection of casters this season, and more content being put out by the wonderful folks over there at IGN. Very excited for this upcoming season to see what will happen and how it will unfold. A much deeper talent pool this time around, and that just means some more great StarCraft for us all. Game number 1, as I mentioned before, won by ViBE. And now we're moving on to Crossfire. And Crossfire, very, very interesting map. One of the reasons why it's so interesting is because this little maze of ledges right over here. Each player has this maze, or this first ledge right here that leads into their opponent's natural. You can see that there is the Zerg one. And for a Terran versus Zerg matchup, this will actually become a very important area of contention. Why? Because if the Terran manages to get some siege tank up here, and he can sort of choke you into staying inside your natural, it can be very, very difficult thing for the Zerg to deal with. It's hard to flank your opponent. You've got to go around the back here and then all the way around. But again, if the Terran has more siege tanks here, if they have a siege tank here, they could hit any units that are trying to go in. They could also hit any units that are trying to come around through the back. And if they have vision over here, any siege tanks back here would also be able to do some damage. So we'll make sure that throughout the matchup, we are kind of watching this platform right here. But let's actually go to the build that we're seeing right now, as we are going to see a Reaper opening from Tarson. And this will, usually we see a 1-Rax Reaper expand coming out here. Now, the Reaper isn't necessarily designed to do damage. In the early days of StarCraft 2, the Reaper was an incredibly feared unit because of a lot of the utility that it was presented with. Of course, that was also during the times where you didn't need a supply depot in order to get a barracks up. And of course, that change kind of, well, it made the Reaper, I wouldn't say less effective, it just changed the role of the Reaper from more of an offensive, sort of damaging unit to more or less a scouting unit that may be able to do some damage, and versus Zerg more so. And the reason why is because a lot of the Zergs are going with a later speed. In this particular case, ViBE has already started his speed. He's no longer getting gas, so he will be able to get his speedlings out pretty quickly. Here, that Reaper is going to be coming in. He has the 1 Queen as well. And so again, you can see that this Reaper just kind of used as a harassment tool. Maybe you can get your opponent to make a few more lings than they probably should be making, but he'll go in, he'll see that the expansion's there, he saw that the pool was done, and we've got the speedlings out now, and this is where this Reaper needs to be a little bit scared of what is going on. He could jump up and down in between these, but he's going to get caught over in the side. He tries to micro it out, and he does get killed, or he does manage to kill a lot of Zerglings, but he will get taken out there. Yes, he does. So very, very little damage done by the Reaper, but again, that is not the intention. Now, what are the other reasons why that Reaper being built is key and critical? Well, you're seeing it right here, as that tech lab was instantly given to the factory. So we're going to have a very early stim. We're going to have a very early tank. Not stim, siege. And so this could make a push coming out from Tarson, a little timing attack, very, very deadly. And getting that siege mode right away Taking your natural, of course, will be very beneficial to the Terran player. Right now, we see a lot of drones coming out now. A spine crawler going down for ViBE. Back in his base, he's put drones back on the gas. He's getting third queen already out now, as siege mode is going to be finishing up here for the Terran. We have one Ling that's kind of doing some scouting. Sometimes we'll see this Ling sit right on top of this command center, right underneath, so that he can, of course, block it from going down. But you see how quickly siege mode finished here. And because Tarson does not have a lot of units, this will actually be a very, very important aspect of what Tarson is doing right here. Has one Marine off to the side just to spot any Overlord that might be coming in, but the Overlord, of course, over here. ViBE right now already getting his lair. And we see more drones coming out as he is now taking 3 gases. He's got that third queen out to spread creep. And this is also going to be important. We see a lot of Zerg players try to spread their creep up here onto the ledge as quickly as possible. It means that they're going to be able to get spine crawlers up there. It means that the Terran later on in the game won't be able to put any sort of missile turrets up there in case muta plays come out. And now you can already see 3 tanks out. So a very tank-heavy play already coming out here from Tarson. We do have more racks now producing some Marines. Stim is being researched right now. And the Zerg player throwing down an evolution chamber. He's going to throw a macro hatch down here. And, you know, we got to think a little bit about this macro hatch, because 2 bases right now. Third base, we got creep starting to head over here. And this is actually a great little base for the Zerg, because the Terran, unless they're utilizing drops, does not have easy access to this third. They'd have to go all the way around here, through the middle of the map. It leaves you open to a lot of counterattacks from the Zerg player with those, of course, speedlings. And even though he's got these siege tanks down here, I'm surprised that we actually saw this hatch go down right here. We are going to see the back doors opened, and maybe that's what he wanted to do first. We do see the outline of the hatchery, which means that ViBE is, of course, going to be gearing up for exactly that. Now, he threw down a Spire, too, so the timing here will actually end up being very, very good. He's got a second Evo chamber going up, at least, yeah, so he's already started his +1 melee. And we've got the Spire finishing up now. The macro hatch will be done. And how much gas does he have? He's not sitting on a lot of gas. Oh, that's because he's already made his 8 mutas. So I will no longer question ViBE here. Is now we have SCVs moving over. Going to see a lot of creep spread already. And they're going to be taken out. Quick response. Is this SCV going to be going through? Could be taken out by this queen right here. We got some Lings moving into position too. Of course, doesn't want his opponent to know that that third base is up. And there's the dropship. This is exactly what I was talking about here. Is Medevac loaded up with 8 Marines. And he's got a couple of options here. It looked like he was going to maybe drop the Marines right there and go ahead and go in. And here he is going to drop on the outside and then move in. Now, why DGWeed, is he dropping on the outside? Well, as you could tell, there's actually a little bit of time in between when that medevac starts to drop. And he is going to go ahead and move forward, and he'll likely be able to take this out no problem. Lings are quickly trying to move into position. Right now, about halfway gone. Here come the Lings. He's going to have to pick up with that medevac. And oh, nice job by the Marines getting in a great little position there. A good concave that wouldn't allow the Zerg to get a whole lot of damage. But the mutas are out. And now that the mutas are out, it will make these drops incredibly ineffective, and really a great defense there by ViBE. This medevac is going to try to get out of there, make his way home. Every medevac counts at this point, but the mutas are going to be in full force going after the attack. A number of mutas that are out already is absolutely ridiculous. As you can see, we do have 13 mutas out on the field, and that is actually going to prompt Tarson to start to move out here. Now, how is his missile turret placement? Not very expansive. Let's just say that. Not that great. One here, one on the outside. So I think what Tarson is hoping to do is to keep his mutas back home by pushing forward here a little bit. We do have 6 more mutas on the way. Mutas coming in from the back. Oh my God, no! 1 tank down as 2 tanks. Oh, a 3rd tank almost goes down. And those tanks completely naked. They always wanted to be wearing a dress, some nice shorts, a suit and tie of Marines. They come in different styles, but they're always Marines based. And oh, a second time! Those tank, oh my gosh. It's painful to watch, even as a Zerg lover over here, as these mutas just get a ton of free tank kills. There's going to be a siege up, but you can see that the Marine count is not that high. But more importantly, the tank count, these weak tanks, this one only having 51 hit points, 1 volley from the mutas, and that tank will go down, and you could tell the mutas are very, very hot. They want to do it. Oh, he might go in for a complete surround here. There is no siege, and I feel like ViBE actually loses a little bit of an opportunity here, as he's going to go ahead and create a Zerg or a Terran sandwich here with his Zerg units. Mutas in the middle. He's got 1 set of Lings on the top, 1 set of Lings on the bottom. He's going to go ahead and bring them in. Now, I haven't seen any Banelings come out quite yet from ViBE. He does have a Baneling nest. He has not researched speed quite yet. His 3rd base is up. It's not heavily saturated with drones. He's trying to use these mutas to the most effectiveness that he can. There are a few more missile turrets back here, but now we have another move out here by Tarson. I'm really worried that ViBE doesn't have any sort of Banelings, and this is going to be a huge attack on the mineral line, and it does not matter. Tarson knows, well, I'm pretty much in a situation where I need to all in right here. If these tanks get taken out back here by the Zerg, and they will not. 2 more tanks hit in the middle. A lot of Marines there, and the Zerg cannot directly engage this. He absolutely needs Banelings. His Baneling speed is only halfway done right now, and the Terran player might be able to go back in. So smart move by ViBE. He goes, okay, well, my Baneling speed's not done. I need to do some more damage. And so that's exactly what he's going to do here as he makes his way into the main. The natural's been completely shut down. He knows that Tarson is getting further and further into the heart of his base, but all he's got to do is make sure that he's got some Banelings out, and I would say all of these Zerglings need to become Banelings right now. He's going to go in and fight it, but with the massive DPS that he's got here, he is going to get a surround on the tanks. So if he takes out the tanks, oh my goodness, he's going straight Muta versus this Marine army. He is going to have to pull back. He absolutely needs those Banelings, and this 3rd base will be taken out, but keep in mind, Tarson not mining from his natural over here, and we have more Banelings coming out. Baneling speed is completed. The Mutas continue to stream out of the base of ViBE, and oh, there's going to be a big hit there. Oh my gosh, so many Marines dying. We see the Zerglings streaming in, and he just focuses on the Marines, knowing that once those are gone, these siege tanks will go down. And is that going to be the end of it? I just can't help but think that we just saw this base go back up. He's trying to regain an army here. Only has a few siege tanks, only a few Marines. It looked like Tarson was going to go for a drop, but he knew that if an impending Zerg counterattack happened, he would not have the units to be able to defend it, and it would be an instant GG. These mutas continuing to fly around. He's going to have to push out yet again, and if these mutas actually go in, they could do more damage to the production. He needs more. Oh my gosh, so many mutas as 2 pages worth are coming out here. And eventually, if the muta count stays as high as it is with 32 mutas, he can directly engage these Marines, and it won't even matter. 1 medevac or 8 medevacs. Oh, he takes out 1 tank, and another tank just gets by with the skin of his teeth, skin of his treads, I guess you could say. So we have that 3rd being rebuilt here. The gold base is now up, mining a bunch of minerals. Another queen coming out. We have more muta harass happening all around. And if he manages to go in here, not good. He pulls his SCVs. Oh, he's going to be able to easily snipe this off. No problem. And do it. Where are all the Banelings still? Not really baning it up. He has sitting on a lot of gas, and I do believe that this gold base is going to go down. But here come the mutas from the back, and all he needs is these supporting Marines with so many mutas. He takes out and eliminates absolute everything, and this war of attrition will certainly be in Zerg's favor. 1 lone medevac cannot, if only he had an anti-healing ray. Wouldn't that be great? But unfortunately, with the muta count that ViBE has, he's going to be able to do a lot of damage. This natural still not mining, and there it is, GG. It is over as the last tank and the last Marines fall, and ViBE will advance to the winners round 2 for the IPL Season 2. Tarson from Millennium just not able to put much of a game back together after a few initial harassment and big kills coming out by ViBE. He kept his muta count up. Although I felt like he probably could have used Banelings a little bit more effective in that matchup, it still was a victory coming out for ViBE. So ViBE moves on after a 2-0 victory against Millennium Tarson. I'm DJ Wheat, and there's going to be more IPL Season 2 coming your way.